You know, one of the best things about the day after it snows is you get to go out and see what animals were around and what they were up to last night. For example, here are some red fox tracks. I've seen them around and heard them every once in a while, so it's no surprise that I'm seeing these right now, but let's see where they lead. Now, I want to preface this by saying that I am by no means the best at reading tracks. I am certain that any avid hunter could really school me on this subject. But, you know, I know enough to talk about it just for a little bit of education and certainly quite a bit of fun. With that out of the way, let's go find some tracks to look at. Well, here's a couple little bird tracks. I have no idea what kind or if it's even possible to tell. I mean, these things can fly, so not like following the tracks is going to lead you anywhere. Also, as for where to find tracks, it's actually quite simple. Animals, like humans, enjoy walking on trails. So wherever you like to walk, they probably do too. Now this looks like a chase. Note the distance between the fox tracks. Let me see if I can get all of them in frame. Fox have 4 feet, and they're at such a distance that it would have had to have been moving pretty quickly for it to only touch the ground at those points. And if you actually look at the individual tracks, you'll see there's sort of like a lead in and out. It was moving pretty fast when it made these tracks. And I think the rabbit was as well, because there's one, and you have to walk all the way right here to get to the other one, and then forward over here. It was moving both erratically and quite fast. Now, unfortunately, this isn't a video game or a movie, and sometimes the snow isn't as thick. This is a very grassy area. It sort of melted a lot quicker. I lost the rabbit tracks a while ago. I think it might have ducked into the thicket there a little bit. I'm just trying to follow where the fox went. I don't know, it gets pretty jumbled right here. Yeah, it was moving around quite a bit. I see a bunch of indentations, but they all sort of look like it was wandering around here at a very slow pace. Yeah, it was taking a look at something. It certainly wasn't moving very fast. It was plodding along in multiple different directions here. I lose sight of the rabbit tracks around this area. Plenty of places it could move without making tracks, and this is as good a spot for cover as any. I also don't see any evidence that the fox was successful. Usually you might see some scraps of fur, blood around if they have actually made the catch. As you can see as well, it looks like the fox sort of slowed down after the rabbit tracks ended, which to me looks like the rabbit probably got away in this instance. Would you look at that? Now, you saw the size of the normal fox tracks earlier, and in fact I think these are some here. They're all very jumbled in this area, and I think I know why, because there wasn't just one fox coming through and around here, but 2, and one of them was a little baby. It's kind of hard to tell because, of course, being a small animal, the little ones really don't weigh that much. They don't produce that much of an indentation in the snow. But this stuff was pretty light when it fell, and it looks like, if I can get a better close-up, that does look similar enough to be a baby fox. Here's a side-by-side of some clear red fox footprints on the left, and the example baby tracks that I saw on the right. Now, there are 2 options for what the tracks on the right could be. They could either be a baby fox or possibly something like a feral house cat. So on the right, the track that's just above my thumb looks to be a pretty okay match for a red fox, but the tracks above it are more akin to a house cat. They're pretty clearly the same tracks from the same animal, so what's going on here? I think I have an answer, but keep in mind this is speculation, so I could be wrong, I could be right. So the reason that I think that those were baby fox tracks is the fact that the larger fox tracks are erratic. It seems that these two animals were interacting with one another. Given that, it seems more likely that these two animals were playing, and it should be expected that their tracks may be distorted, whether they're hopping about, spreading their toes as they land, that sort of thing. Again, not an expert, but this is just what it looks like to me. With all that said, with how jumbled these tracks are, it's really hard to tell for certain, short of actually being there. Well, that's about it for today. I found way more than I thought I was going to. And I mean, it just goes to show, once you actually get out into the woods, into these natural environments, it's amazing what you can find. Anyway, I do hope you learned something, and I wish you the best. Until next time.